Good morning, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a series of Nanowrimo vlogs, and I'm going to be showing you around while I'm doing my best to complete the challenge of this autumn. So if you don't know, Nanowrimo is a National Novel Writing Month, and in November lots of people are starting to work on their novels, and I tried it last year, but it was a bit tough because I was working and studying and I didn't have much time. But this month I have lots of time on my hands, which is why right now I have already got started. And right now I am working on my current novel. It doesn't have a name yet. I'm not gonna disclose very much, but I will tell you that I am continuing it from the Camp Nanowrimo that I've participated in July. I managed to write about 15,000 words then, and now I wrote 600 words today, and I have some errands to run, so I'll take you along with me. But so far I am just writing, doing my best, and also listening to a soundtrack by Brunaville. He's writing amazing fantasy music, which is what I'm listening to while I'm writing. Hi guys, so it's the 4th of November. Is that Guy Fawkes Day? No, that's the 5th of November. I think that's the only English holiday I actually know. And I'm trying to get some writing done with Nanowrimo. So far I'm on top of my word count. I have a little bit over 5,000 words right now, and I hope to achieve the word count for today. I haven't really written anything, and it's already 6:40, so I still have some time to go, and I think I'll make it. But I just got a parcel from Book Depository, so do you want to see what's in it? Let's take a little peek. Right, let's see. That's a book for my boyfriend. It's quite a big. It's one of the Witcher book stories. I hope it's good. Next on, well, you can already see a couple of things. This is the My Lady Jane book that got fantastic reviews from everyone, and I really snatched it up at a very good price. I'll tell you more about how to get a good price on books later, but I thought I would buy this edition because it's way cheaper than the hardback. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Oh. And here's the beauty. That is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Let's see if it's huge. Well, it's quite big. I quite like it. Alright. Well, you can already see what else I've got here, but here's the Lumine and hardback edition. Very glossy, I like that. Ooh. Yeah, I like it. Looks amazing. And last for this parcel, I don't think that's the last thing I ordered, but they probably made two separate shippings. This is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabata here. This is the first book, and the second book is already out, so I would love to read those series and tell you what I think about those as well. So here's a little sneak peek at me using Scrivener for my manuscript. I'll probably blur this out because you're not allowed to see what it is about yet, but I've had some texts done in July, and right now I'm working on different scenes. They're badly written, to be honest, but right now I'm doing some rearranging, and I'm also listening to 1 hour of high quality coffee shop background noise. Really helps me out because it makes me more relaxed and it's easier to write like that. So let's see how my word count goes. I'm sorry that this Nanowrimo vlog is very skippy, and also I'm not really going anywhere this past week, which is why it has been very one-sided. You haven't really seen me do much. So I'll see you guys later. Yay! It's Monday and I'm really doing good with my Nanowrimo goals. Look, I'm on top of all the words and even wrote a tiny bit extra today. And I have 11, almost 12,000 words now ahead of my goals. And I'll talk to you tomorrow about the novel and how it's going, and tell you more about my progress. So it's the 8th of November right now, and I am on top of my writing goals for Nanowrimo. Woot woot! I know, that was super awkward. Anyway, I thought I would talk to you a little bit about the difficulties I'm having with my novel in this vlog. So, because it's more fun anyway to listen about difficulties and challenges than just watching the account being updated. So let's get started. So this year I'm working on a fantasy novel which is basically a fairy tale retelling from one of the Russian folklore stories. And I have been thinking about this novel almost for a year now, ever since I started my first attempt at Nanowrimo last year, which failed miserably because I was going into it as total pantser, wasn't prepared at all, only had a very vague idea of what would be happening, and basically that novel ended up failing because I realized my heart wasn't into it. I wanted to do something else, something different. And basically I realized that Nanowrimo requires a lot of effort and a lot of discipline. Going into this Nanowrimo, I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to complete the word goal. And the reason for this is that I have a month in between my usual life right now. I have just moved to the Netherlands. I don't have a job yet. And I figured that if I fail this month, there is no other time for me that I might do better than this year, which is actually a huge motivator for me to push myself to the limit. Because if I fail this time, it just proves that my heart is not in it and I really want to get this novel written. So I'm writing usually either in the morning, but that's a rare occurrence right now because I end up oversleeping quite a bit, or in the evenings after my boyfriend has gone to bed because I can't handle being observed when writing. I'm feeling very self-conscious because I'm sure many writers during Nanowrimo feel that whatever they're writing is crap. In my case, I know it's crap, but it's not going to stop me from writing this shit down. Because it's always easier to edit when you have something, even if it's crap, because then you can kind of distinguish what you want to keep, what you don't want to keep, and when you have nothing, it's kind of hard to edit nothing, you just come away with nothing. So I'm working on my first draft. Second point that I'm going to discuss is how to actually write those 1667 words if you are short on time, if you don't feel the inspiration. What I do, it has helped me greatly, is I'm following Nanowrimo Twitter sprints. Whenever I feel like writing or whenever I have to get shit done, I just open the Twitter sprints and wait like maybe 5 or 10 minutes at most for the next sprint to start. And then I just start writing. Even if it's bullshit, it kind of motivates me to push myself forward, to write whatever I think. And it kind of helps me put words on the page. Other days I discovered I'm not really in the mood for writing under a deadline because I have to do some research, I'd like to think things through, and this is when I'm just writing freestyle, and to be honest I quite enjoy that as well because it gives me a nice balance between pushing myself and being a bit thoughtful about it. Let's talk a bit about writer's block. I mean, it's almost every day that I don't quite feel up to the task of writing, but I sit down and do it anyway. But the issue is how to make yourself feel better when you are stuck, when you're feeling that the scene is crap. Usually I'm just shifting between the scenes I feel like writing at the moment. I have about 10 scenes outlined right now, and there's gonna be more as I progress, but at each day I'm just feeling whatever scene I want to write and I switch between them. If I get stuck on one, I try another one. If I get stuck on all of them, I'm trying to start a new scene and try to figure out what might be missing from my novel. So that really helped me. Alright, time to talk about the worst stuff, I guess. Problems. The biggest problem I have is basically a plot problem. My novel has a quite well-defined romance line, and there's also this adventure line that I'm pursuing, but I feel like it's missing the big underlying current of political and social events that are going to push this from being a romance story to something fantastical and epic. And right now, what I'm doing, basically to keep myself writing, I'm just working around a lot of stuff. Like, I'm working around stuff that I don't know that's gonna happen. I'm just not writing it down. I'm working around stuff like names of towns and places and new secondary characters I'm unsure about. I'm just making them placeholders. I'm writing in Scrivener, and Scrivener has this offer for Nanowrimo participants. If you complete your Nanowrimo goals, then after Nanowrimo, they give you, I think, a 50% discount on Scrivener, which is basically this writing tool. I like it. It's quite comfortable, especially for outlining, and usually the price is like 30 bucks, so at the price of 15 bucks I think it's a steal, because it's a very comfortable tool. You can edit, you can move chapters around, so it's way easier than Word when you have to do it by hand. And I am just using bold and cursive text to highlight the parts that I'm unsure about, so that they'll catch my eye when I go through the second draft, and so that I know that these names need to be changed or thought about and whatever. Another huge part is research. My novel requires very particular research done on the subject of medieval Russian times or early medieval centuries, and the problem is that Google is not super helpful when it comes to this level of historical involvement. And I know that I should have gone to the library, but I kinda didn't really have that much time, so parts of my research can be done as I go along, but parts can be skipped until later, and I just have to work around that. But I hate it, because I can't envision my universe completely, and that really bugs me and stands in the way of my world building. Another problem that I'm really struggling with is defining the tone of my novel, because when I'm writing, I always feel this urge to insert these kinds of witty remarks or retorts or humoristic kind of approaches, although I would like to keep the main tone of the novel very serious, and a tone that would make you really would be heartbreaking at certain points of the novel. However, right now I'm not getting away with it, because I'm writing all kinds of funny scenes, and the way that I figure I can change them all later, and it's very important to put yourself in the right mindset, because otherwise this is going to be like, well, it's not going to be wasted, because you have an idea of where you're going, so I'm doing my best for that, I guess, but I don't know how it's gonna end up. I'm just doing my best to write what I feel in the moment, and I guess I'll change it up later. So this was me discussing the problems that I had this week. I guess there will be more problems next week, and I'll talk to you more about how it's going, but for now let's get back to writing or reading or doing something fun, and I'll see you guys in my next Nanowrimo vlog. Bye bye!